Hi everyone. Today we have a special guest with us, Mark, who brings a lot of incredible experience from the world of e-commerce marketing. Today we're going to be talking about how businesses are adapting in this really strange period. So Mark, thank you so much for your time. Could you tell us a bit about yourself?
Hey Bernadette, thanks for having me today. So I've been doing online for a long time. I built my first website in '94. I was a lead programmer at Microsoft during the dot-com boom. I've worked on a wide range of websites. I spent a couple of years as CMO for a company called Showpo during their kind of rapid growth phase. We took them from 20 mil to 85 mil in 3 years with no funding. And I've spent the last kind of 6 or 12 months kind of just working for myself and just helping a range of kind of online companies with rapid growth.
That's awesome. And I guess what really interested me about kind of your experience as well is that you have such a wide range of experience. You've had a very technical background. You've also worked in some really exciting, fast-growing brands. So I guess what's your favorite experience through all of the many years of being digital?
Oh, seeing the change, seeing how many things change and how many things stay the same and that sort of stuff. And I think it's kind of interesting that we've gone through this complete cycle from a marketing perspective where we used to be, we've got the old school madman style advertising, and then it's gone through and it's kind of changed, and everything became data driven and performance driven, and now we've kind of gone full circle and kind of seeing those two merge, and that's just happening. Some companies are up with that, some companies are not up with it, but the ones who are getting the best growth at the moment. So yeah, it's exciting to see those changes.
Definitely. It's interesting all the shifts that are happening literally in this digital space on a week by week basis versus a year and a decade. So, I mean, I guess the hot topic at the moment is what are the changes you're seeing happening at the moment, and how are you seeing businesses respond?
Oh man, yeah, it's been a crazy month or so since it all went down. We're recording this first of May today. And everything just went crazy. It was about 5-6 weeks ago. Probably the biggest thing, because I'm kind of lucky that I get to go very deep across a range of companies. So I've been agency side, and my big frustration there was always you tend to go very shallow across a wide range of companies, but I tend to go deep across a range of companies, which is a lovely experience to be in. And what probably the biggest thing I've seen is the customers have changed. Every single company I work with, there's been significant changes in that everyone's revenue is up or down. I don't know a single company who's flat. I'm sure there are some, but I mean, both of those who are up and those who are down, their product mix has changed. And there's also been a significant mix in who is buying. So I've been doing analysis of this. I've got one company I look at where they're the people buying have skewed younger than what they were historically, but another one where they're skewing older than they were historically, and then another one which is getting more repeat customers, and another one which is getting more new customers. And I haven't seen big gender changes. That's one I haven't seen yet. Small changes, but nothing significant. So it's just been crazy. So the thing that I'm really encouraging people to do is just kind of forget forget what you know about your customer, and kind of just don't make assumptions based on that. Having said that, most people don't actually know who their customer is in the first place, so it's easy to do.
Yeah, a good starting point, I guess, will be in any period is just to really understand who's buying from you and who your ideal customers are. And it's funny you say that no one's experienced a flat plateau. It's either the pendulum swings one way or another, and you just have to deal with it. I guess maybe like for a business that it's swung in a positive direction where they've seen a huge uptick in sales, how would you recommend? Do you have any tips on how they can focus on marketing in a way that's going to help them keep these successes going and keep the momentum?
Yeah, I tend to work more on online heavy companies, and so they have on average done well. Fashion excluded, unfortunately, although I've got one fashion company I'm doing some work with have actually done really well out of it. But by and large, fashion has done well. But what I'm doing, the company's doing well is, there's a kind of a unique opportunity that this is probably a once in a generation, once in a lifetime event, where obviously there's a gradual trend towards more online just across every industry, right? But and that's happening, whatever, a couple of percent a year or whatever it is across the industry. But we've got this unique window where we can suddenly grab massive market share very quickly. And we can get 3, 4, 5 years worth of market share in 3 months, which is just a pretty amazing situation to be in. And so what I'm seeing is what I'm working with companies on is doing more prospecting, reaching new customers, doing more top of funnel activities, and seeing how that goes. And having some real successes with that, and working on one really big top of funnel campaign at the moment that's not quite live, but will be in a couple of weeks' time.
That's super exciting. And I guess with all this activity as well, you just have to test it and see what works and what sticks, what doesn't. I guess, I guess,
and that itself is a challenge, because you're testing, but the baseline has changed. We don't know what the baseline is. So it's a new normal. Everything's a new normal.
Yeah, that seems to be the catchphrase of 2020. Normal just isn't what it is anymore. What we thought worked, what strategies we thought were completely 100% rock solid, aren't so sure anymore. I guess my other question was the flip side of it. So a lot of retailers are experiencing, unfortunately, a lot of really difficult situations right now. A lot of retailers are closing shop physically, but also for good, essentially. So what would be your advice for any retailers who are seeing the numbers and are seeing that it's just not looking good at the moment?
Yeah, look, that's a real challenging one, and I'm not an accountant or a CFO or anything like that, but it's really keeping an eye on your revenue, obviously taking advantage of the government programs that are out there, and I mean, from a marketing perspective, which is my challenge, it's really difficult, because you can't, if you stop investing in marketing, that then becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, that your revenue suddenly starts to drop even further, and you get a negative self-perpetuating cycle. I think you know what I'm saying, right? But at the same time, what I'm seeing in some companies is their return on ad spend has dropped as well. So I think it's a matter of kind of pruning, but being very selective about what you're pruning. And just like the company's doing well, doing kind of more top of funnel, the company's doing badly. I am seeing that the ones I'm seeing are still getting a lot of repeat customers come in. So it might be more focusing on repeat customers, doing less focus on new customers.
Yeah, definitely. I guess, like, this situation is just entirely unique, and as you said, it's a once in a lifetime situation. It's unfortunate that we all just kind of have to deal with it. But I guess in all companies there are going to be periods of peaks and troughs, and there's going to be situations where things don't always go to plan. So have there been any situations in the past where you've been working with a company, things haven't been looking as good as they used to be, but we're not really meeting projections, and what were kind of your marketing strategies to help turn that around?
Oh, sure. I mean, that happens all the time. That's kind of the nature of business when things happen. Look, it's going to sound like a cop-out answer, but a big thing is always go back to the customer and see, are you fulfilling the customer needs? And that can be from a marketing perspective. That can also include product as well. Are you giving the customer what they want? Because if you've got a viable business, chances are you have a product that people want. And so if something changes, you need to go back to that. Are we selling something that people want? And are we communicating that in a way that is meaningful to them? And it's just going back to basics. And probably a little bit unique, something that I certainly haven't done in the past in this time where change has happened before, but this is a fairly unique change, but we're in a new time, is because things are moving so quickly. I have, in some cases, accelerated some AI programs as well.
Okay, that's really cool.
Because that allows us to kind of respond really quickly to the crazy changes happening. And that's really interesting. I don't have any kind of indication yet as to how that's working, but I'm obviously optimistic on it because I'm investing in it.
Yeah. Could you tell us more about that? AI programming or programs?
Programs, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Just
I mean, as a simple example, I was having I mean, this is something that everyone can do, probably is doing. I was having a chat with Google last week, or the week before, and that they were saying, look, we don't know what's happening. Google doesn't know what's happening in Google.
Google doesn't know.
No, they said that, well, I mean, they know what's happening, but they don't know what's happening tomorrow because it's just everything's changing so fast. And look, they're doing a great job, feeding the information, but they're basically saying just rely on algorithm. Just let the algorithm do its thing, and that can learn faster than anyone can, including us. But then, working with another company on just as an example, in that they're finding that both their demographic is changing and their product mix is changing. What's selling is that they're finding that their product that's on the somewhat expensive side, and so what they're doing is they're looking to they've got cheaper products selling better than they were historically. And so we're rolling out some AI visual merchandising that's looking at what is actually resonating with customers, what sort of products people are interacting with, and doing the visual merchandising kind of in real time, one-to-one personalized based on that.
That's really cool. That sounds amazing about all this new technology that's come out of a need to innovate quicker.
It's been around a couple of years, but yeah, I think it's just a good fit for this company right now.
I guess one of my last questions I had in mind was just thinking about all the trends that are happening right now. What are the trends you're really seeing, and which trends do you think are going to stick around post all of this new normal?
Post-COVID? That's the question that keeps me up at night. I'll say that okay, so everything's changing. We've got 100. Everyone's working at home at the moment. For example, you're at home, I'm at home, right? And that's fine. And then in whatever 3, 6, 12, 24 months time, who knows how long something will last for? We won't be forced to work from home anymore. But will that change? And if more people are working from home, I think that's inevitable. So it's going to be an interesting time for real estate. Less people going to live in the city. I live in inner-ish Sydney, which is an expensive area. It's like, well, do I need to live in inner-ish Sydney anymore? Can I live out in Wollongong or something where it's half the price? But from a marketing perspective, I don't know. I wish I could have a good answer to that. That is absolutely a question that keeps me up at night, trying to figure out what's going to happen afterwards. I mean, obviously there's a growing online meetings. There's excitement in the tele. I don't know. If anyone has any great thoughts on this, please let me know, because it genuinely keeps me up at night.
No, definitely. And I guess, that honesty is refreshing, because I don't think anyone knows, or everyone has maybe lots of ideas, but only time will tell what trends are actually going to stick around. But well, Mark, thank you so much for your time. This has been a really interesting conversation, and it's probably only the start of more conversations in the future, as a lot of marketers everywhere are just going to continue wondering how the world is changing, and how we can actually respond to it successfully, hopefully. But yeah, thank you so much, and thank you to everyone who watched this video.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks, Bernadette.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mark. I'll catch you soon, and